Welcome to An Apple a Day, a podcast, a resource, a community. Share your experiences and learn from others as we overcome barriers and learn to live a happy and healthy life. Not as disabled people, but as people with a disability. Welcome to the community. Here's your host, Jimmy Apple.
Welcome to another episode of An Apple a Day. I'm your host, Jimmy Apple. How you feeling today, my friends? You feeling good? You feeling strong? You feeling better than you did yesterday? Excellent. You can't ask for better than that. Well, here we are. We're in the holiday season. The big fat man came on Thanksgiving Day, and he's ho-ho-hoing his way around the world. And he's preparing for December 25th, Christmas Day. How about you? Are you in the Christmas spirit? Are you in the holiday spirit? I hope so. Along with the holidays, along with Christmas, comes the infamous Christmas parties, the infamous holiday parties, the New Year's Eve parties. And this is when we start preparing for them. Whether you're throwing the party or you're getting invited to parties. And that's what we're going to talk about today. What happens when you get invited to a holiday party? You get an invitation. Do you accept it? Do you reject it? Or do you just ignore it? Now, me personally, I get an invitation to a party. I accept it, especially if I like the person. But if this is your first time being invited to a holiday party, a Christmas party, as a person with a disability, if this is your first invitation to a holiday party, you might find it a little bit off-putting. You may be a little bit gun-shy about accepting that invitation. The only thing I can liken it to is, remember back when you were like 11 or 12 years old and you're getting invited to a boy-girl party? Remember that? And for a week, you're looking for every excuse not to go. And your mother or your father is telling you, no, you have to go. You have to go. And you're fighting it with every fiber of your body. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Please don't make me go. And you're looking for excuses. I'm sick, I can't go. But you go anyway. And at first you're shy and you stay in a corner and the music plays. And next thing you know, you're starting to have a good time. And before you know it, you're really into that party. Well, it's the same thing. You go there, all right, you have your disability and you're gun shy, and next thing you know, you're talking to people, you're having a good time, and you know what? By the end of it all, you're thinking to yourself, wow, this was really great. By the time you get home, you're thinking, I can't wait for the next one. Holiday parties are a great way, Christmas parties are a great way to start the season. And you're going to find you make new friends, and you're going to find that the season builds up inside of you. The whole Christmas spirit builds up and it fills you up. There's no feeling like it. That said, there's no one that can make you go to a Christmas party or a holiday party. Sometimes people forget that we have disabilities and we are actually sick. We do have physical problems and people will try to force us to go. I can tell you from personal experience. Here's one that this used to burn me. My family would say, we're having a party, we want you there. That's nice, they want me there. But I didn't feel good. I had problems at the time. And I said, I can't be there. Well, come. Bobby's going to be there with his kids, and they're really looking forward to seeing you. They're going to be disappointed if they don't see you. Well, Bobby lives not more than 3 miles from me. And Bobby's going to be disappointed if I don't make the trek to the party. He's going to be disappointed. His kids are going to be disappointed if they don't see me. But yet, I've been home in bed. I was in the hospital for a couple of months. And they never came to see me when I was in the hospital. They never came to see me at home. But they're going to be destroyed if I don't come to this party so they can see me. There's something wrong with that picture. Don't let people guilt you or make you feel guilty about taking care of yourself first. If you don't feel up to it physically or mentally to go to these parties, then you have to put yourself first. You are the one with a disability. You are the one with a sickness or an illness. You have to put yourself first. Albeit it would be great to get to the party, it would lift your spirits, but if physically you can't do it, don't let anyone guilt you into going to this party. Remember that. Your physical being, your health comes first. So I'm going to assume that you decided to go to the party. Great. I think you're going to have a good time. One of the first things I want to talk to you about is alcohol. Alcohol is off the table. The main reason being is that you're on medication, and most of your medication bottles say do not take with alcohol. Alcohol and medication do not mix. So alcohol is off the table. Another reason alcohol is off the table is if you're diabetic. You got to remember that. Just because it's a party doesn't mean the rules go out the window for a couple of hours. Alcohol and diabetes do not mix. Alcohol going into your body turns into sugar. And I don't care if you have a friend that says, oh, my doctor says you can drink 1 glass of wine. I don't know any doctor that says you can drink 1 glass of wine. Alcohol turns into sugar, whether it's wine or a glass of beer or a shot of Southern Comfort. It doesn't matter. Alcohol turns into sugar in your body, and the sugar in your body affects your insulin levels, and it's no good for you. I know somebody that takes a glass of wine to heart and drinks a bottle because the bottle is made out of glass. Nope, alcohol is off the table at these parties. Another thing, this is a touchy subject, and I can't believe I'm even saying this, but you go to these parties and pot, marijuana, weed, whatever you want to call it, is off the table also. Because contrary to some people's beliefs, marijuana is a drug. Whatever you want to call it, once again, pot, weed, marijuana, Mary Jane, smoke, it's a drug. And certain drugs don't play well with other drugs like your prescriptions. Now, if you really feel a need to smoke pot or use the edibles, whatever, go see your doctor. Ask your doctor if pot is going to interfere with the prescriptions you're taking. If you really feel that you have a need for this, I personally do not believe there's a need to smoke pot. Here's something else. I stopped drinking years ago because of my condition. And I go to these parties and I have a great time. I found out that you don't need to drink or these mind-altering substances or anything else to have a good time. I enjoy myself thoroughly. I laugh, I joke. Other people are joking and laughing. You don't need to alter your mind. You don't have to get twisted to have a good time at a party. So that's just the main thing. All these things are off the table when you go to these parties because you do take prescriptions, you do take medication, and you really have to protect yourself. Another thing, now this is pretty big because I see so many people do this. When you go to a party, or anywhere for that matter, but we're talking about Christmas and holiday parties. You go to a party, someone comes up to you, and they say, "Hi, how you doing? Nice to meet you." When they say, "How you doing?" they're not asking you for your medical record. They don't want to know about operations that you've had, or problems that you're having, or you bleed when you poop. They don't want to know all of this. It's a greeting. It's how you doing. The proper way to answer that is, "Hey, I'm doing great. How you doing?" If someone wants to know your medical history, they're going to sit down with you and they're going to ask about it. But when someone comes up and says, "Hey, how you doing?" it's just a greeting. I've seen people go into detail and people are trying to shy away from them. They don't even want to talk to them anymore. Enjoy yourself at a party. If you can, for the most part, try and forget. For those couple of hours, try and put your disability behind you. Put it on the back burner and just enjoy yourself with other people. That leads me to the next thing. Some people, especially people new to having a disability, will feel very self-conscious. It happens, but think of it like this. You didn't choose to have a disability. It's part of you. Unfortunately, you can't do anything about it. But you're in the same boat as somebody that's bald, or somebody that's overweight, or a white person, a black person. People are staring at you just because of it. They may glance at it, but to be honest, they really could care less. They're going to go about their business at the party. They're going to go about enjoying themselves. They're not going to stop partying because you walked into the room. Now, I know it's easy for me to say that, and I know it's hard to understand it or live it because I went through it. I used to think that the world stopped when I came into the room and everyone was staring at me, until I found out they could care less. That's just the way it is. They could care less that I rolled into the room in a wheelchair. When I first came in, they looked, they seen, and they went about their business. But I thought for the whole time I was there, people were staring at me. They could care less if I fell out of the wheelchair. But just get it out of your mind. They're not staring at you. They just see you. They notice, or they may not even notice your disability. And they go about their business. They may come over and say hi and whatever. Leads me to the next point that you should remember. Some people get nervous, and their way of combating their nervousness is they start making self-deprecating jokes. They'll try and make fun of themselves, so that maybe it's like a defense mechanism, so that other people won't do it, and they draw attention to themselves. They make themselves look like fools, thinking that, and people laugh, but they're thinking that, oh, this is making people like me. What it's actually doing is making people realize what an ass you are. After a while, people don't even want to know you. You're making these jokes, and if someone else said it to you, some of the things that people say about themselves, if someone else said it to you, you'd be highly insulted. And the things you may say about yourself in a joking manner may insult other people who have loved ones that are in the same situation. Skip the self-deprecating jokes. Just go there and have a good time. Enjoy yourself. It's going to take a little bit of time for you to maybe get into the flow of the party, but you will. Don't expect to jump right in, or maybe you should expect to jump right in. But if you don't, if you feel yourself a little bit shy as the day wears on or the night wears on, but be yourself. That's the best advice I can give you. Be yourself. People will either like you or they won't. If they don't like you, they don't know what they're missing. If they do like you, they got a great new friend. But be yourself. When you go to the party, remember, you were invited there for a reason. Don't hide in a corner. Don't let anyone make you feel uncomfortable. Remember this. You belong there. You were invited there. People want you there. I know you're probably thinking, well, I have a disability. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. People aren't focusing on your disability. Remember that. You're like the bald guy. The bald guy is there. Yeah, he's missing hair. His hair fell out. But it doesn't matter. Your disability doesn't define you. And don't let anyone define you by your disability. Let your personality shine. Don't go there and hide in a corner. Don't act all shy. Let your personality out. Forget your disability. Forget it. Push it to the side. Let people see you, the real you. Your disability is just part of you. There's nothing you can do about it. There is not a thing you can do about it. It's there. It's part of you. Move on. You know, people might look. If you have a visible disability, people might look. Then they're going to move on. It's the same thing. Think about it like this. There's a beautiful woman or a super handsome guy in the room, and you look. You'd be nuts not to. But then that's it. You're not going to look all night. You're not going to sit there gawking at them. You move on and you have a good time at the party. The same thing is with you. If you have a visible disability, it's human nature. Someone's going to look. But they're not going to gawk at you all night. It's just going to look. They see it, and they move on. No big thing. You just got to get it out of your mind. You have to realize you're your own worst enemy at times. It's like you get the person that likes to paint pictures. They're their own worst critic. It's the same thing, a writer. They're their own worst critic. When you're out, you're your own worst enemy. You see your disability 10 times larger than anyone else. So put it to the side. For that night or that afternoon, put it to the side. Now, for those who don't want to go to a party, that's cool too. Don't let anyone force you into going to a party or guilt you into it. If you don't want to go, you don't go. It's that simple. Now, there's other things you can do other than going to a party. If there's one thing COVID taught us, it's how to use Zoom. You can have a Zoom party in your own living room with friends and relatives from wherever. The same thing, you can have a party on a chat board or on FaceTime with a friend. There's so many ways to get along with other people and have chats, and there's just so many things. And you don't have to go to a house party, or you can invite people to your house if you really want to. Me, I like the Zoom parties, to be honest with you. You make a pot of coffee, you sit down, you talk. I talk to people in different countries on a regular basis. I think that's the coolest thing. And to do it around the holidays is even better. Remember this. This is probably the best time of the year, the most joyous time of the year. And you can spread joy by talking to other people that have no one else maybe to talk to. We have technology now. We're not relegated to sitting in an apartment by ourselves. We can talk to other people. We can talk to family and friends that we probably wouldn't have a chance to if we didn't have a computer or a smartphone. And don't tell me, well, I can't. Sure you can. If you're listening to this, sure you can. Because you have the equipment right there. It's something to do. It's a joyous season that we're in. There's no reason to sit home alone at any point because you have the ability to talk to other people. So you have to do that. You have to do it, if not to yourself, for other people. Other people don't want to be alone either this time of year. So maybe you could help someone else that doesn't want to be alone. It's so good. It's such a great season. I love this season. Christmas, the holidays. We have New Year's coming up. And maybe your resolution can be to keep this feeling going throughout the year. You don't have to be alone. And just because you have a disability doesn't mean you're a prisoner in your house. Doesn't mean you're tied to a bed. And, especially people that are new, again, to the disability community, you're not a prisoner in your home. You have a disability that doesn't stop you from having a life. Remember that. Now, I want to remind you too, things may look dim and dark at times, but things can always be worse. That's right, my friends. Things can always be worse because right now, there's someone somewhere wishing that they were in your position. So things can always be worse. You've been listening to an Apple a Day, and I want to remind you, we have a chat room. We have a chat board that's open to everybody. And like I'm saying here in the podcast today, you can go to a chat room and talk to people there and have a party there. There's people popping in and out of our chat room living with a disability on a regular basis. Nice people. So go over there, check it out. It's at famousapple.com/group. It brings you right to living with a disability. There's people over there having fun. Why shouldn't you have some fun? So I want to thank you again for being here today. And I want to remind you, no one ever went blind by looking at things from the bright side. So give that a shot. I'll be talking to you again real soon. Have a great day today, my friends.